semi egio anambu wario ndi nyere ego ndi nyere nwa ndi nyere di fabiara ka kele ki sigi imela o imela o chukwu okike imela o imela o chukwu okike imela dalu imela o dalu imela o chukwu okike imela imela Makandi nyere mo arikiji chamama nyakam jisigi na rekele mo dalu o chukwu okike mewo na rekele mo chukwu imela o imela o chukwu imela.
Good morning, viewers all over the world. Egwu ịnụrụ kịta bụ egwu si na ngalaba na-afụ gbasara mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo n'Ugochi ọdịnala temple a na-akpọ Nkwa group led by me. We have all the rights. I'm only like ya bụ egwu ịnụrụ kịta jee na audio mark the iTunes and rest of them chọọ ya bụ egwu ma download ya. For some of you that are seeing me for the first time, Momo Efi Eze-Ana Ugochi Tupenorifique. Mobiko Makajibo. Abumoni Sinchuaja, Ugochi Tuodana Temple. Anyị na-agba afa miri emi n'ụkwazị ọrụ mmụọ dị iche iche. Abụkwazị m onye isi nchụaja n'ọdịnala Restoration Evangelical Mission. So you can call me a priest or an evangelist. I will answer. My mission is to help people live better life. No, but you no ga one case isiokwu anyị ji wee bịa bụ polygamy and child adoption. Polygamy and child adoption. Believe me, if you pay attention today, you will understand many things concerning Igbo spirituality and how things work, so that you will be knowledgeable to understand our culture and tradition in this part of the world, so that you will not be judging from the view and mindset of Ndokobia. So pay attention. Like I will always tell you, what you don't know remains a mystery to you and not to all. And I will tell you to always seek for knowledge. That if you are knowledgeable, a bro master. If you lack knowledge, you remain a slave. So that is the message. So before we dive into today's lecture proper, we are still in the month of March. Our group ritual for the month is still ongoing. Yes. It's still ongoing. So if you have anything you want to follow us in our monthly rituals, it's rituals for upliftment, breakthrough, and liberation. We have lots of testimonies, but as you all know, we don't share testimonies on social media or even in the Eze-Ana TV. You know why? It's not necessary. But I can tell you, Eze-Ana one day n'isi ụtụtụ ejegori m na temple chụọ aja gọọ ọfọ kwubie okwu n'isi ndị niile sonyere anyị ga-emegide ya etu a till the last day of the month. Anyị jee na mmiri wute ihe ọnụ na-eri only jee chụọ aja n'aha mmadụ, jee na-akpọ ọkala ete ndị mmiri jee chụọ aja ihe mme gbagota na temple chụọ aja to entities of powers jee n'ebe mgbe chụọ aja gbuo ebu wee mesara aka. So ọ bụrụ na ị dị interested isonyere anyị na aja a na-achụ n'igwe, ihe ị ga-eme chaatị m na WhatsApp, forward ya token donation to the account number, forward ya 3 prayer request anyị ga-edebe n'ọta na-achụ aja na-aga ọfọ na-ekwu okwu n'afọ anyị. Anyị malitere ịchụ aja over 3 years now. So ọ bụrụ na ị dị interested maọbụ na o nwere ajụjụ ị nwere na nkụzi a maọbụ na ịchọ ka agbaala gị afa miri emi, chat me on WhatsApp 0805 78 37 672. I repeat 0805 78 37 672. Maọbụ 0813 8243 871. I repeat 0813 8243 871. Let's now proceed. Na nkụzi a anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. It might not be that long, but if you pay attention, you will learn a lot. Then, gịnị bụ polygamy? Gịnị bụ child adoption? From Igbo spirituality point of view and our culture and tradition in this part of the world, our culture embrace polygamy. For me, I'm a proud polygamist, yes. Then, I'm not a fan of child adoption because Igbo spirituality always consider child adoption as the last option. And when necessary, when it becomes a last option, will the process. Yes. So so I will explain in details. The first option bụ na Igbo spirituality kwenyelu in polygamy because na our forefathers and great men will need that necessitated that. And for your information, it's not meant for everybody. From the time immemorial, it's not for everyone. It's for great minds and for a reason. It's for great minds and for a reason. It has started from the time of the ancient time, the oldest time. Man was permitted to have as many as possible based on the set goals and objectives. Remember why Chukwu Okike condemned David, and for that reason deprived David of what he longed for. He is because David deviated and commit crime. Instead of going for more wives with a full chest. Why I love Igbo spirituality is that everything is laid in the open. No pretense at all. And once you begin to pretend, you become a coward. Yes. So Igbo spirituality embrace the fact that whatever you want to do for your own benefit, for a reason, do it with full chest. Initially, I want to use some Bible examples to cite some certain things because I want to use what you know. Don't forget that David is described as apple of the God's eyes based on the Bible narrative. And David longed so much to build a temple for Chukwu Okike Pụrụ Ime Ihe Niile. But David was denied that particular thing. David was denied that particular thing. David was denied that particular thing. David wanted, do you remember David? The one that wrote Psalms. And I know the church people don't joke with Psalms. They don't joke with Psalms. So you can see why David was described as apple of the God's eyes. So David was chosen. It's a choosing one. Remember, David is a called one. Remember how David was chosen. David is from the household of Jesse. Their father had them 12. The first one is Benjamin, the first son. And Chukwu Okike sent a prophet to go to the household of Jesse, their father, and anoint one of his sons as a called one. When he went to the house of Jesse, Jesse asked Jesse to brought out all his male children, that he had a message from God to come to his house and anoint a called one there. Do you know why I want to tell you all these stories? For you to understand very well. Because in my teaching, I normally analyze it very well in a way that you understand it perfectly. So Jesse brought all his guys. Samuel, the prophet, began to look at each and every one of them. He did not see a spark of that called one in their forehead. He was like, no. He now turned to Jesse. Is that all the children they have? Jesse said, no. There is this small one that went to take care of their sheep. He said, go and call that one. The message went to David inside the bush. And when David came out, he saw the spark of a called one on his forehead. He now said, yes, this is the chosen one. He anointed David. You know why I'm telling you these stories? For you to know that David is chosen from the womb, from when he see a small boy. David grew up and became the apple of the God's eyes. He wrote all the Psalms in the Bible, you remember? So, but David wanted to build temple for Chukwu Okike Pụrụ Ime Ihe Niile, but he was denied for a simple reason. Because David, from behind, went and they have a carnal knowledge from a married woman. A married woman, note it. When he got that woman pregnant, the woman sent a message to David that she is pregnant. And David, the husband of that particular wife, is a soldier, one of his David's soldier men. He now invited that man to come home, to go home and sleep with his wife, just to cover up. Had it been that man came home and slept with his wife, then after 9 months, a new child will be born. And by then, the man will be confused whether he is the one or another person. And at the end of the day, nobody knows the truth. Exactly what is happening in various homes now. So the man said that he cannot go to his wife while other soldiers are at the war front. David tried everything to make this man go to the war front. The man refused. Instead, the man said, okay, I'm going, sir. he went and slept with other guards at the gate. When now David later find out from the man's wife that the man did not come home, he now decided, okay, since the man did not want to come home, because you can see about it, was not that one year. Or where was your only area? See what this man tinye n'ihu agha. Ke we gbo the man in order to cover the mess. So, and the soldier did exactly what King David asked him to do. The man was killed. That is how this David hands is soiled in blood. Because in order to cover iniquity, he committed crime that led to somebody's death. And Chukwuoke turned to David. David, did you ask me to give you permission to marry more wives and I refused? That is a question. So Chukwuoke in his infinite mercy will not, and will never judge us by how many wives do you marry. Instead of you to be claiming I have one officially in the people's eyes, but we have other people around, maybe call them side chick and everything, is the highest life of pretense. And I can tell you, greater men of nowadays will always like to pretend. Me, I don't pretend. I will tell you I'm a polygamist, yes. And they can never go anywhere and see somebody that he say is my girlfriend. It's not possible. Instead, I marry you. But for me, I'm a very disciplinarian. I don't take shit. Once you do what is abominable, once you disrespect me, once you do what is not befitting, and what is expected from you, you go for suspension. That is me. But for you to saying I married a wife, remember this is all about choice. Look at the Reverend Fathers. They choose the life of celibacy. Nobody forced them. And this is life you choose for yourself. And if for any reason people are giving you respect as a celibated man, then once you touch a woman, you have committed crime, because nobody forced you to choose that part of life. Yes. It's life you choose for yourself. And they don't need to pretend. Why pretending? They will be calling your father in the eyes of people who claim to be a celibacy, but they have girlfriend. Who is deceiving who? This is a pretense, and this is what God hates. You cannot say you are not eating rat, but you are dividing it with the children. But and for me personally, I believe that onye chase zakpa just zakpa, onye chase zakoro just zakoro, not is zakpa koro. Me is me. I will tell you highly principle. Let me use my town as an example. I am proudly a polygamist. Yes, that is me. But you can never see any joint anywhere, any hangout that we say that I have come there to wine, dine, or toast any. No, not my life. But married officially, I will do. But there are some certain principles you must obey, and I will give you. This is my life. This is my principle. This is my home. Now, if you want to be my wife, you must obey the rules. That is the thing. Yes. So, for me, I'm very principled life. The way I choose my life, now I can't go out elsewhere to eat unless if I travel outside my town. Yes, but once I'm in town, I cannot eat elsewhere. It's my life and principled life I choose for myself. And I will live it to the fullest. So, Igbo tradition, why God became angry with David is because David is a polygamist. And instead of doing the right thing, even if he decided to get more wives, he went and be going unofficial way. And in order to cover the crime, he committed murder. That is the simple reason why Chukwuoke told David, he cannot build temple for me because your hands are soiled. And now, do you know who built temple for Chukwuoke? He said his son, the son of David, Do you know the son of David is Solomon? King Solomon. King Solomon married as many as is countless. I don't want, if I start to quote Bible, we will say 300 wives and concubines. Do you know what is concubines? Those concubines is official. Ndị Igbo na-akpọ ya ikuchi nwanyị. Official, it must be official. Those woman you ikuchiri, that Igbo spirituality is done official. It's not something you do in the evening. No. Let me teach you what is ikuchi nwanyị na Igbo. Ikuchi nwanyị nwere ike bụ nwanyị, a woman that lost her husband. Maybe the woman in question is a wife to your brother, and your brother passed on, and maybe you are married, but you want to kuchina the wife of your late brother. It's done in open. Her people will be there. Your own people, witness will be there. Oga nwunye go ọkụkọ, enwere process eto esi eme di mmemme, or the official. And why ndị Igbo ji eme ihe bụ ka nwoke a nọrọ ka father figure to nwaanyị anwa na ụmụ ya. The man can easily come to the house, borrow mazi, makari pata una asero compound. Why are you doing this? Why this place is unkept? So that ka enwe onye ga-anọ ka nna. Ndị ọcha kpọrọ ya foster father. Remember the story of Jesus? They will tell you that Joseph abroad there, Joseph is a foster father. So foster father is only kuchiri. Now to the children, Enoch the foster father to the children. So that children will have a father figure. So it's never done in the darkness. So that is what Igbo spirituality stands for. Igbo spirituality does not support promiscuous lifestyle. You claim you are married one, but you have other ones. You are pretending yourself. It's better for me to say I'm a polygamist and give it my full chest. Yes, and if you come, I will give you my laws. You obey it, you stay. If you don't obey it, you go or go suspension. That is me, my personal life. So, but what I can tell you that Igbo spirituality is not against polygamy. Then you know why Igbo spirituality is against child adoption. Instead, they go for polygamy. Igbo child adoption is all about no nwere ike nwe onye amụtara nwa. Ije shika ije go nwa. Why Igbo spirituality frown at that, bro? Ne maro where the blood, so that you might from that way bring a blood of a perima, a thief, bloodline of criminals to your family in the name of adoption. Because you don't know whether the person that got the woman pregnant is onye mkpụrụ ma onye Igbo ma ndị aka ntụtụ. And the mụrụkwuo ya ha na aya. I nwere ike isi n'ụzọ dị nwaanyị ji eme adopt ta onye ya abịa n'bute ọya dati adrọ na agbụrụ ụnụ. Ma aba agwa iko adrọ na agbụrụ ụnụ. You see that our ancestors are wise. So to avoid that, that is what gave birth to ikuchi nwanyị more polygamy. Now, instead of getting such child, then they will say, okay, no kamma nwanyị ya di ya nwụrụ na agbụrụ a na ume ya di anyị mma ka ọ nọlụ kama ka nwanne di ya ma ọ bụ onye ụmụnna agwa ya dị mma kuchie ya. Ihe kpatara family ji ekwu like that bụ na they wanted to be sure that na onye ga-ekuchie ga-abụ onye nwere ezigbo agwa, na ọ bụrụ onye ori. Ịghọtara ya? Na onye ga-ekuchie ka adị sure na onye ga-ekuchi nwa a bụ onye si n'ezigbo agbụrụ, ka a ghara inweta agbụrụ ori. Ọ gwọrọ nya batara o ji abụ ụdị ha adị asị ka nwanne bịa. Ọ bụrụ ka iwu ya nwanne gị nwekwara ike ịbụ onye ụmụnne ọzọ, mana ọ ga-abụ onye nwere agwa dị mma. Ihe eji eme ka adị sure na ama eweta ihe adịbụrụ n'ezinụlọ webata n'ụdị na-achọ nwa. Instead, ha nwere ike ịsị ka anụta nwa wife ka e wee nwee ọmụmụ. And again, Buna, man, for any reason, let me advise you for the last time before I'm rounding up. Obruna for any reason, never reason you to adopt. I will advise you to make sure that that particular onye to marry one and you to adopt. No this in the Zimbabwe. So do your investigation and see that now whoever that is the mother and the father of that child, they want to adopt. ụmụazị si n'ezigbo agbụrụ, ka ọ ghara ịbụ onye mkpụrụ mmiri, ka ọ ghara ịbụ onye na-ezu ori, ka a ghara isi ụzọ akpụwata onye ori na agbụrụ ụnụ. Nke a bụ ofu. However, ọ bụzie na imesigo investigation, ọ bụrụ na onye ga-abụ the last option, iwee jee mee adoption, kabakwa alụ bịa gwa ndị ichie nwe ya bụ ngwuru na ka o si dịrị gị na ị na-achọ nwa, mana na adoption bụ the last option ị nwere. Kpọrọ nwatakịrị ahụ jee mee ya introduce n'ihu ndị ichie, gwafa ha nabata nya bụ nwatakịrị na nya bụ agbụrụ, then mee the necessary rituals. Nwatakịrị atobe, kpọkwa ụmụnna gị, you still introduce that particular child to ya ụmụnna, ịgwafa na onye na-eto akwụkwọ nwatakịrị mere adoption mgbe i jere ọrụ oyibo ịkọja, ime introduce ka ọ dị official. That is, ma ọ bụrụ na iwu rere na ị ga-emerịrị adoption, but I will advise you to trace the bloodline before you mee, ka ị ghara ịbụ ebe ọ bụla ịfụrụ atụfuru nwa ije welu maka ibe anya m na-emesịa. Then mana ndị Igbo, ihe ndị Igbo ji eme polygamy bụ na o nwere agbụrụ a chọrọ nwa, o nwere agbụrụ ndị enwere reasons ndị na-eme eji emie. Yes, onye ahụ nwere ike ọ bụrụ na ọ chọrọ na-enwere n'onye lese onye nọ into business, various business, then ọ chọrọ onye ya eweta nwere ihe a particular woman na-ebiri nge to family. O nwere family nwere long life, ọnya ka a na-akpọ izere agbụ. O nwere ike ọ bụrụ na family na ụlọ enwere long life, ị chọwa family nwere long life as nwaanyị, jezere agbụ na be ha n'ụwata nwaanyị si ebe anwa, nwaanyị anwa si ebe anwa bịa na family unu nwere short life, o break the yoke. Ịghọtara ya? Ọ tụbara na nwa na family anwa, o break that yoke, maka na family o si bịa nwere ike onwe ọgbụgba ndụ ndị nna nna ha melụ na family nke be nke nwaanyị na ha ga-ebi ogologo ndụ, mana family unu nwere short life. So ọ bịa na-atụwa ime ifu na nwaanyị ahụ ga-anọ na family aka nka break the yoke. O nwere family bụ na befa ibu nwoke, family be nna gị, family adị alụcha unu alụcha. Ọnkụl Chijioke kwụsịrị unu na linta, ọnkụl onye bụchi kwụsịrị unu na foundation, ọnkụl onye nke ọzọ kwụsịrị unu, ọnkụl Ifeanyị kwụsịrị unu nke na rufi. Ada alụcha unu alụcha na family unu. Now if you want to go and izere agbụ, jee to family na alụcha unu, weta ma igbu nwoke maọbụ nwaanyị. Ị bụrụ nwaanyị, family unu adị alụcha unu alụcha, why do you want to accept a man to marry you? A man no family men ya ha adị alụchakwa unu alụcha. Ihe a bụrụ izere agbụ, ọ mmadụ isi na fire banye na flying pan. So o nwere family nwere ọmụmụ, nwanne mma ya mụrụ 12, nke a mụrụ 8, nke a mụrụ 7, nke a mụrụ nke a, ọ bụrụ family nwere ọmụmụ. Mana family ụlọ enwere ọmụmụ n'ofu ma ịbụ a. So enwere reasons what you are picking, enwere what the woman is bringing to the table, enwere what the woman is bringing to the table, and because of what she's bringing to the table, that is why you go for onye dị etu ọnwa. Like me, if I want to make a choice, there is what I'm looking at. But what I'm looking at, maybe you have call, maybe a choice no. But you something in a look at as they have here what this person should bring to the table in order to have large family. So I will already advise you, instead of living life of pretense. Life of pretense will never go well with you and your ancestors. It's better you decide the type of lifestyle you want to do. But whatever you want to do, does it make sense? You saying you are marrying one wife, but in a dinner nwunye mmadụ. Ebe ọ na nwunye mmadụ nọ ijebe. In fact, ị nwekwara ike imekwu nwunye mmadụ ka o gbuo die iwe bịa. Yes, because the attention in enye somebody's wife may lead to that woman to thinking of killing her husband. Ka ọ bụrụ a widow ka iwe nwee full time. But you will not know. The woman can do it alone or do it in connivance with you. So it's not good. By so you are soiling your hands. So for me, polygamy is what Igbo spirituality accepted. Then, and you do it based on what we can provide. Then, and remember, Igbo spirituality does not support that everybody will know. You can marry based on what you can afford. Let me give you an example. I'm from a lineage of polygamy. Yes. From my mother's side, my grandfather, father to my mother, has 3 wives. Father to my father has 2. But me, I can have more based on what I can afford. But the most important thing is that whatever you decide to live your life, don't live life for pretense. I hate it with passion. Yes. And again, polygamy has been there. But one thing my little advice to men, if you want to be a polygamist, make sure you choose somebody that will bring something to the table. 2, make sure you can be able to take care of the person. Don't bring somebody you cannot take care of. Then as a woman, if you want to get married to a polygamist man, then make sure that you be submissive. In fact, not only a polygamist, if you want to get married as a woman, if you are not ready to be submissive under a man, you don't have any business going to marriage. I can tell you. For you to be a good wife, you must be ready to say yes, nah, be respectful. But if you lack respect, you talk anyhow, you disrespect people anyhow, you don't have any business going to marry, because you go into marriage and they will still kick you out. Let me stop here. If you have any question in today's lecture concerning polygamy and child adoption, I told you that the best option is not child adoption. That is concluding part of today's lecture. Going for child adoption is not the best option. You should consider polygamy first. But when it is not necessary, it's not possible, then if you are going for child adoption, be sure you trace the bloodline in order not to bring maybe onye akwụkwọ maọbụ onye na-ayọ ya dị very strange to your family, or bring somebody that has something negative to your family. Look for somebody that has something similar to your family life wire. Let me stop here. If you have any question in today's lecture, or you want us to do deep consultation for you, chat me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number remains 0805 7837 I repeat, 0805 7837 or 0813 8243 871. I repeat, 0813 8243 871. N'aha Chukwu Okike nke pụrụ ime ihe niile, onye ike na-esi n'aka ya bịa. Ekwubie m okwu n'isi ndị niile na-esonyere anyị n'oge awa nke eziokwu, the friends of the temple, children of the temple, and members of Ordinary Restoration Evangelical Mission, and our fans all over the world. Asị m na kakaka ya mụ na jijiji ya mụ. Asị m echeche ihe ọjọọ ya mụ na onye a mụọ onwe. Onye si ihe unu ji wee dere, unu adịgbo onye a na ndụ. Onye si ihe unu ji wee nọrọ, unu anọgbo onye a na ndụ. Asị m na unu ga-ejere obodo dara obodo. N'ihe ọma dị n'elu ya dara n'ala, ọdịnala ya pụrụ unu omekwa ụwa were anya afọ. Asị m unu gbuo n'ihu, unu na-egbute mma, unu egbuo n'azụ, unu egbute mma, unu egbuo n'aka nri, igbute mma, igbuo n'aka ebe egbute mma. Asị m onye si ka o jere ụlọ aja ije na o jebe na ọ ya ejelu, o si ọnwụ na ọ ya ejelu, ya nwụrụ n'ụzọ ọha ha ikwu. Na anyị sịrị na ihe onye gbutere na ọja ya na imi na ọnụ ya. Anyị sịrị na unu ga-adị ka echi, maka na echi adị agwụ agwụ. Onye lụrụ unu mma mmasị ya, onye lụrụ unu njọ ihe o gbutere na ọja ya na imi na ọnụ ya. Asị m na ụnụ agha nwụ, ụnụ agha nwụchu, ụnụ agha efuchu, ụnụ agha nwụkwa nna ha nwụbana, ụnụ agha efukwa nna ha efubena. Asị m na ụnụ lụọ na ụnụ ya alụta, ụnụ chụọ na ụnụ ya achụta, na ndị chefuru na echefu ya echeta ụnụ. N'aha Chukwu Okike nke pụrụ ime ihe na onye ike na-esi n'aka ya bịa. Ya gazie. Ọ ga-adịkwa echi nye n'oge awa nke eziokwu. Ekwuru m na ọ bụrụ na ọnwa egburu oji eji wee chụọ aja, emechaa na ọ ya epu ome. Udo dịrị ụnụ.